Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode 8 of the solo Skyblock series. Now, as you see, I am not in my normal room. I am actually back home right now with my LED lights and my cool 6-year-old background. But yeah, I actually just installed lights, which means I can do this really cool thing like, Alexa, set my lights to red.
Okay.
Wow. So yeah, that's pretty dope and I like it. I also have it set to my TV so I can like play like YouTube videos and stuff in the background, but that's like a minor thing. Regardless, the sub wall has been popping off. I have all these listed subs and I actually have like little shorts on them that I think are really cute. I'll have like the link up here if you want to see the one I have right now, but there'll be 2 more being released tomorrow and the next day, which will just have a little bit more shorts. I think they're really dope and funny, and obviously if you guys want to be in the sub wall, just type in the description, well, type in the comments the name you always put on the wall and what you want the sign to say, and then I'll add like a little flair to it and stuff like that. There's also obviously the Twitch sub wall, and I probably should also do the same thing with Twitch, but I haven't been able to stream on Twitch for a little bit, mainly because I just moved in and my keyboard has been given a little bit of issues, which I can work around with recording, but may cause a lot of issues when I actually start streaming. But regardless, everything else is chilling. I actually also added a donate area right here, so if you guys want to donate, that'd be cool. I'm not using any of the donations for myself. Most of them are going to be used for drop parties and events I have planned, and I do have a lot of events planned, but I'm not sure exactly when, but I'll probably make a video on them when I do have them like set in stone planned, just so you guys can hop in and do that. Obviously, if you guys do want to take part in my events, hop in my Discord. That'll probably be the easiest place to get like consistent updates on when they are, what the rewards are, and stuff like that. Otherwise, we'll get into what the purpose of this video is, and that is, I'm going to stop putting it off. I'm finally going to get Vex spawners. Now, of course, if you weren't aware, Vex spawners are actually the best way you can physically make money in the late game. And that's because what happens is a lot of people actually end up buying those Vex, like the Ender Eyes that drop, for like a super insane high amount. That's because they can usually sell it with champ frags, and that just gives you a lot of like benefit overall. But us that don't have like the champ armor or the masteries can actually make money by using these higher level people to do so. So obviously, to start off with, I'm just gonna sell all of the diamonds and emeralds I have just so I can make some quick money. Now, most of you have actually stopped buying the diamonds, and most of you I can get them from is actually the ice top 2, which is progression. So they're who I'm going to sell all my emeralds and diamonds to, just so I can get them past ultra position, because why not? Alright, there we go. Also move my camera just so I can actually look at the camera when I'm looking at you guys, just make things easier. But yeah, I'm just going to sell them all of my emeralds and my diamonds, and then I'm going to come back and see how much money I make. Alright, so just like that, I sold all of the emerald and the diamonds I have. I have like literally nothing left, and we made a little over 200 mil, which is pretty good. Now, obviously, in case you guys haven't watched the videos, all I'm really doing is just like running Super Breaker, running through these, and whenever I get like all this stuff, I just then collect it and I put it into, I sell it to like high ranked people. So you see, 1 block of diamond gave me like 9 blocks, and that's because I currently have Fortune enchantment level 13 on my pickaxe. So it's really insane how the Slayer Blade like ramps up in like value, so that's pretty important. But there is in fact something a little bit more insane, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So lucky for us, someone actually gave us some of these, and those are Vex spawners. So we have 10 Vex spawners right here that we're going to place down. We're going to just start grinding up pretty much. Also, I do currently have 215 million, and what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put off that and invest into Vex spawners. So if I do /AH, I should be able to find some Vex spawners, so maybe around 20 mil. Okay, yeah, so the only ones up are for 23 mil right now, which isn't that bad. They usually go for around 20 to 25 mil. So 23 mil is definitely pretty good, and I'll just pick up a few of those right now. Alright, boom. So just like that, I spent every single dime I had on some Vex spawners. I actually also bought a pet egg from my person, a Shakira kitty right here, so that's fun. Apparently, they just wanted the notes. That's really, really funny. You know what? Now you get the notes, and you also get to be my video. So, hello, Shakira Kitty. How are you? Alright, beyond that, we're actually also going to have to make an area for them. So, let's find a nice area that we can slap down a Vex spawner. Now, I do want it somewhere moderately close to my cobble gen, just so I can jump here and there. So, I'm either going to put it over here or over here. And I think right here seems a bit more empty, so we're actually going to put it right here. So we don't actually have to make this like really pretty just because of like how spawners work on this server. So we're just going to make it like just a nice little area where we can just grind some Vexes. Better yet, what I could actually do, because I do want you guys to be able to grind some of them, I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to do something a little unique. Yes, if I do it right here, what I could do is actually allow you guys to also be able to use this whenever I'm okay with you guys using it, which I think would be pretty cool. Now, obviously, I'm going to need a little bit of protection so you guys can't just willy-nilly go in there, and that should be fine. Alright. Now, I don't need this area to be too big because it's just Vexes at the end of the day, but I think what I could do is something like this. So definitely some kind of pathway, and then if we do 1, 2... and then 1, 2. Okay, yeah, that way we can get it right in the edge. Alright, so that would be the general frame of it, which I think works out pretty well. Now we just frame it around like this, and we can make this just be the top. Otherwise, you are going to want it to go down a little bit, and I'd say about 3 blocks should be fine. Alright, so this would be the general layout, and we can just break out the immediate inside from here. Okay, there we go. So that will be all of that. And then what we can do is just lower this down a little bit. Okay, for the sake of symmetry, I'll also put this down 4. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the ground. There we go. Boom. Okay, that works out pretty well. And we'll actually just have one more right here that releases you guys into this side of the base. Final touch, and there we go. Now it is wall time. Okay, there we go. So we have this like cage workout thing, and we'll see about making the floor into a actual floor. Boom. All right, and there we go. Oh my god, Neo with the spam as always. Okay, and then naturally we do our last little top off with the red paint, and that should be about it. Boom. All right, there we go. Boom. Now just in case you guys fall down, you can in fact jump up these and get right back in. And that's for people who don't have /fly, obviously. If you do, it should be okay, and you should be chilling. But with that in mind, now what we can do is we can place these Vex spawners. And then we'll do this, and boom. Now we have Vex spawners. So it's going to be growing pretty quickly, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to grab my Slayer Blade, which will be hidden in some PV somewhere. Boom. Alright, here's my Slayer Blade, and what we're going to do is we're just going to slay these really quick, and we're just going to see exactly where they drop. Now, obviously, I have to click really fast because I want them to die before they spawn. There we go. And now we'll just see exactly where they drop so they don't spawn on the roof. Boom. Alright, okay, well, that's a slight problem. Boom. Alright, and that should do with it for the most part. And just in the time it spent me to literally do that, my Vexes is already at 1,000. So definitely, I think these 19 should be good for me grinding personally, and that will be super duper awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Now we have like a bunch of Vex spawners that can just casually grind. The background should be pretty awesome. Another thing though is multi-kill only is on 3 on this Slayer Blade, so I'm gonna want it to be a little bit higher. Now back in like episode 5 or something, I did get Experiment 5 in the book, so that's definitely gonna be going on the sword. And a buddy a little bit back actually did give me multi-kill 5, so that will work pretty helpful. It's actually 96%, so this was going to be a pretty easy apply. If I do /enchant, I'm going to actually buy a bright scroll, and 2% is a bit low, 9% is a bit high, and 3% is just enough. So we'll put on the 2 and the 3, and we'll get multi-kill 5, and we'll slap multi-kill 5 on the Slayer Blade. Now, next, I do want to get this Experiment up, so let's reroll the odds a little bit, and see if we can get, 77 is good enough. So we'll stick with 77 for now, and I'll see if I can get a few more Bright Scrolls. Alright, there we go, Experiment 5. So now we have an Experiment 5 multi-kill 5 sword, and this should pretty much just melt through these mobs pretty hard. Now, I do also want to see about getting more Colossal pieces. I currently only have the Colossal helmet, so I might go ahead and buy some pieces later, but for now, this should be way more than enough. And we actually got about 3 to 4 drops of kelp, but what's actually important is that we haven't gotten any of the special drops, which is Ender Eye. So the thing about the Ender Eyes is they actually don't drop from the Vexes until you're at least tier 2. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to grind up our Vex mastery quite a bit so we can get to tier 2. It shouldn't really be that hard, as 5,000 mobs really isn't that bad, especially with the Slayer Blade, so we're actually gonna grind it up real quick and see how much we can get to. Another thing I should mention is if you do /tall condense, what it actually does is activate the condenser. So basically, whenever I do kill these Vexes, it adds to a condenser list, and when that list heads to 2,000, what will actually happen is it will turn into one conjoined condensed item. So this is pretty helpful just to make things easier in regards of like grinding, and when you sell the item, it sells for the exact same it would if you had that amount of the item, so you're actually not losing any money. It's just like super convenient. The only disadvantage is you can't actually use the dried kelp for anything else you may have wanted to, because now it's condensed, but let's be honest, you weren't going to do that anyway. I think it's really helpful, and I know they also have it for farms, but I really wish they had it for like super breaking and mines. I think it'd be pretty dope. My big thing is you actually can't sell like the items, the condensed items for mines, unlike you can sell them for the vexes. Alright, so I just spam them down. I actually just get one condensed dried kelp, and now if I do /sell, what you'll see is that this actually sells for a full 26k, which is a pretty decent sum of money. Now, another important thing to consider is the fact that this actually gives us a lot of sky coins as well. Vexes is actually the mob that gives the most sky coins, mainly because you gain sky coins per tier, and Vex is the highest tier. And just because the Vex's items sell for so much, it's kind of convenient. It works how you get the most money, the most sky coins, the most everything. Vex are just really, really good. But I'm getting about 300 or like 50 per ticket kind of ranges. And what we're going to do is actually going to compare that to our Cobblegen. Now, it's important to know we're actually getting like about 100, so it's about a little bit the same, maybe a little bit better for the Cobblegen, but the important thing to know is this is just one tier on the mastery for Vexes. Once the Vexes get like tiered up in their masteries, they will actually give us a lot more sky coins. So for the most part, I don't think the Cobblegen is by any means bad or now compared to the Vexes, but the Vexes are definitely a lot better for your bang for your buck. Definitely you only want to grind the Cobblegen when you physically have Super Breaker, otherwise it's literally not worth it at all. You actually see for the Masters, it increases the Sky Coins gain by 1.5, which I'd say makes it about even with the Cobblegen. So definitely before the Vexes get released, it's worth just using the Cobblegen. But I think after Vexes, you definitely want to prioritize your focus entirely on Vexes. Now, the important thing I do want you guys to consider here is the fact that I haven't grinded my spawners at all. So if I do start spawners, you actually see I'm actually tier 1 spawners. I've literally never touched anything else. But just the fact that I've done everything else collectively, I've made the Cobblegen, I've made my systems, I actually had the money where I could just buy the Vex spawners from the people who actually did grind. So that is my recommendation. I don't personally recommend grinding, because all you really need is one person to buy the Vex spawners, and then they can control the market and you can buy it from them. I know when it just came out and Vexes just started spawning, people were selling them for 40 million. A lot of people thought that was insane and not worth it. Like last season it was 20 million. Well, it's just a matter of supply and demand. I mean, I worked to get the Vex spawners. I might as well make a profit from selling them to you guys. And it's really a genius idea, because you're giving them that immediate 30 million profit, and then you'll make that money back eventually. So it's just like a trade-off effectively. Definitely though, Vexes are 100% worth it. Don't sleep off them. If you have 20 million, 100% go buy yourself a Vex spawner, have it like run in the background, just have them grind up. That way, whenever you're doing other things, you can come back and just slay 1,000 mobs just immediately and get a bunch of money, a bunch of sky coins, also get your Vex master up, which is really important. Now, while these Vexes build up, what I'm going to do is just work on other things. And that's the important thing with the Vexes. You can just have them build up in the background, so you don't really need that many Vexes. But what I'm actually working on down here is trying to get my masteries up so I can get the Farmer's Harvester. Currently, I'm at 3,300 Netherwort. I succumbed. I bought the Netherwort. It just made things easier. And then after that, I'm going to work on getting Cactus Tier 1. To be honest, it's not really worth getting the Cactus to tier 1, just because I don't think the money you're making from the Cactus could ever beat out Vexes or beat out mining, unless you have like a bunch of chunks, which you literally could have gotten like the money by doing other things. It's weird. It's like, it's good passive money, but this late in the game, it's just kind of not worth it, because there's better active money that could literally just outweigh that entirely. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna get it to like tier 1 just because I've already started working on it. I don't really want to waste all that, and also because I do want to get the Farmer's Harvester, and I really don't want to have to do that by getting the sugarcane, just because I do want to make sure I get the cactus farm like set up. So it's a double whammy. It's like on one side I need to get the cactus farm set up, but I don't want to get the cactus farm set up, but I want to get the Farmer's Harvester, and it just kind of works out to get the cactus farm set up. In a realistic world, I wouldn't have gotten it set up at all. Like, I would have just entirely ignored it. But my other option is to set up a pumpkin or a melon farm, and I just think it's not really worth it at this state to do that, so I'm literally just not going to. Next season, I definitely want to work on that, like, at first, though. It's just that I was really busy early in this season. I'm joining late, so I'm kind of joining after everything started, so it's... You gotta make do with what you have. Alright, so just like that, I was actually able to get Vex Mastery level 1, and what that means is now we can make the Vex Minion. The Vex Minion will actually help with the Master, which will be pretty helpful, but they cost Vex Heads. For now, I'm not going to use the Vex heads, and that's because I actually want to make a Vex rune, which requires 80 Vex heads. So for now, we're actually going to save for that. Otherwise, you have to do another 5,000 so that we can unlock rare drops. Alright, so it's been about 22 minutes, and I've literally just been, like, editing the video in the meantime. And I now have a Vex 2. So in theory, and Vex 3. Well, on the bright side, I now have rare drops, which means I can now get the Ender Eyes, which is really, really helpful. But what I actually do want to get access to is the Vex Rune, which should be super, super helpful because it actually has a 10% chance of doubling the drops that you get. That does require me to get 25,000 mastery points, and statistically speaking, that should take about an hour. But what is important is now we are able to get the special Vex drop, which it says drops at a 6% chance, so definitely we should have gotten it by then. So let's see. Yep, there we go. So we have 16 Eyes of Ender. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set it up so only we get Eyes of Ender, and we're just gonna keep grinding and see how many Eyes of Ender we get in about an hour's time. Another important thing actually is, since we now have the special drop, what we're going to do is we're also going to upgrade our mob drop multiplier. Now, it's important to know mob drop multiplier is absolutely broken and is the main reason this actually works, giving you up to 10 times, which is like super, super insane, and that works with servants for some reason. So definitely you want to get mob drop multiplier as high level as possible as soon as you can, as soon as Vexes are released. Alright, so we're able to get to level 5, which means we're now getting 5 times. The next level is 500,000, which isn't that bad at all. But now with that in mind, when we kill the Vexes, you'll see we're now, instead of getting like 1 and 5, we're getting 8 and 10, which is an insane increase in the amounts we're getting. Now, it's also important to know this also does work for Ender Eyes. Naturally, we're not going to be getting as many Ender Eyes because the chance of getting the Ender Eyes is a lot lower. But when you do get that proc, you're getting a lot more than you normally would. So we already got 1 condensed kelp, which is really, really insane, given we kill like 200 Vexes. Before we had to kill like a whole stack of Vexes, or like 900, but now we're getting, well, effectively 5 times more. So just like that, we've made like about 50k, given that each condensed thing sells for about 20k, so this is insane. Naturally, that isn't including the fact that in a few seconds, what's going to happen is it's going to trigger, and we're going to get a really, really high amount of Ender Eyes. So there we go, it triggered, and we got about 4 or 5 stacks of Ender Eyes, which is pretty insane, because if we do /sell, what we'll see is each of them, a stack sells for 176,000. That is ridiculous. So yeah, just like that, we're going to sell for 160, it's going to go to 190, and what happens is, if we can get a condensed version of this, people buy them for like 17 million a piece. It is absolutely insane. And this is not even with a high level of Slayer Blade. The Slayer Blade is only level 4 with looting 4 and can go up to a max of looting 25. So with the looting 25 and multi-kill and colossal armor, a bunch of Vexes, and etc, you can get an absolutely ridiculously insane amount of value from killing these Vexes and selling them for a ridiculous amount of money. Without a doubt, Vexes are like the best late game option you can do, and the second you get 20 million, it doesn't even matter what you're doing, 100% put your money into getting some Vexes. Alright, so we currently have 24 Vex heads, and if I do /mcraft and then I go over to Vexes, you're going to see it's actually going to cost 80 to get the Vex rune. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretty much head off for now, and I'm just going to grind up to that so I can get the Vex rune, and I'm going to sell all of our stuff. I actually might not sell the Eyes of Ender until I have higher mastery, because what happens is when you get tier 9, it increases sell price by 1.5. So what I might do for now is, if I do end up getting any of the condensed eyes, then I'm going to conjoin that and then sell them. Otherwise, what I'm pretty much going to do is not really worry about that for now. So I'll send the condensed eyes, the kelp I'll keep until I do get tier 9, and then I'll turn all the heads into Vex runes and all the extra heads into Vex minions, and then have those help me grind up my Vexes. Otherwise, for the most part, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are enjoying this series, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe. If you guys want to go in the comments, let me know like what your name is that you're subbed, and I'll put you on the sub wall and add you to my sub shorts. If you do enjoy the shorts, make sure you like them. I do enjoy making them, and it's important for me to know that they are actually good content. Obviously, anything I make, I'm gonna think is like moderately good, but knowing what you guys think and knowing your guys' opinions is very, very important to me and makes me actually know like what I'm doing and that what I'm doing is actually important. Now, I'm making this video on the 8th, but I'm actually going to have it posted tomorrow, specifically because the second it gets posted, I'm actually going to start streaming. So if you are watching this video about an hour, 2 hours, maybe 4 hours into its release, hop over to twitch.tv/NovaDrakers and watch me. I'm going to be grinding, doing some random stuff, and I might end up playing like some different games, some Valorant, Overwatch, Tarkov. It just depends on what I'm feeling, but definitely hop over, say hi, and check out what's going on. Otherwise, hop my Discord. Know when I do events and giveaways and drop parties, I really want to do drop parties and stuff. I have like a lot of really good plans for that, like mini games, like mazes, and there's some stuff from Squid Game that I think's really fun. But I do want to see if this is something you guys are really interested in. Obviously, you guys should let me know. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys are enjoying it, go ahead and hit the sub button, hit like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Laters.
Hey, we're out here, trying to get it done. Lost faith for a minute there. I'm working hard in the hot sun. I'm trying to keep